One paint color costs sellers $18,000. Not the kitchen, not the roof. A wall shade, quietly subtracted from real offers on ordinary houses like this one. Zillow researchers surveyed 4,000 recent homebuyers, measuring how interior colors moved their offers, and the gap between the best shade and the worst passed $20,000. Buyers never announce these deductions aloud. They evaluate your rooms, price every decision you made, and subtract silently. Agents call it resistance. Sellers experience it as a lowball. 9 popular upgrades trigger that silent markdown, and a trained appraiser spots each one within seconds of arrival. Today we start with the 2 hiding in plain sight. Start with the sliding barn door. In 2016, listings mentioning one sold for 13.4% more and moved 57 days faster than comparable homes. Today, that same door is vanishing from listings, and buyers walking past it read a date stamp. This house was renovated around 2019, never touched since. Here is the rule nobody says out loud. Upgrades expire. The feature that earned a premium 1 decade becomes the discount signal buyers hunt for the A buyer who can date your renovation can price it accordingly, and every anniversary since that barn door rolled shut gets counted quietly against your eventual asking number. Upgrade number 2 is the pre-sale repaint. Sellers spend whole weekends rolling every room white because somebody said neutral sells. The buyers themselves keep voting the other way. A chocolate brown bedroom lifted offers by $2,300 over plain white paint, and sage green ranked top tier in every single room buyers were shown. The worst color in the study was ochre yellow, the $18,000 mistake from our open, because buyers pay for rooms that feel finished, never for blank. So the $18,000 was never stolen. You surrendered it, one comfortable choice at a time. 7 more upgrades are waiting, and the cheapest correction comes first. Upgrade 3 is the closet you built to legalize a bedroom. The folklore says no closet means no bedroom. Most state codes never wrote that rule anywhere. What actually makes a bedroom count is egress, a window large enough to escape through, plus ceiling height. The wardrobe you added changes nothing on any appraisal. Thousands of dollars get spent on closet build-outs every year, while the room next door with the undersized window quietly stops counting as a legal bedroom entirely. Before you frame a single stud, pull the code for your county. One phone call beats a $4,000 carpentry project that appraises at exactly zip. Upgrade 4 is the above-ground pool. To your family it reads as summer. To an appraiser it files as personal property, the same category as your couch. $0. Meanwhile, a chunk of your buyer pool sees maintenance, liability, and a demolition bill, and quietly crosses your address off the list. Even the in-ground version returns roughly 40 to 60 cents on every single dollar you sink in, and that generous math assumes sparkling water and flawless equipment. A neglected pool flips the sign completely. Cracked tile and green water can drag a whole house below what it would fetch with nothing in the yard. Upgrade 5 is the $60,000 attic conversion. There is a measuring standard called ANSI, and since 2022 most appraisals are required to follow it. Under a sloped ceiling, floor space only counts when half of it clears 7 feet, and anything below 5 measures as absolutely nothing on the official form. That charming bedroom under the low ridgeline can legally appraise as 0 additional footage. You inhabit the room daily. The bank insists it does not exist. $60,000 of carpentry, insulation, and drywall vanishes from the paperwork the moment a laser measure sweeps the ceiling and reports the slope to the lender. The fix costs nothing before you build. Raise the collar ties, steepen a dormer, and design the conversion around 7 feet before the first board is cut. Upgrade 6 is the $150,000 walkout basement, and it lives or dies on 1 single inch of packed dirt outside your foundation wall. The same rulebook draws a hard line. If the floor sits below grade on any single side, the entire level is excluded from gross living area completely. Your theatre room, your guest suite, your wet bar. The appraisal files them all on the same line as an unfinished cellar lit by 1 bare bulb. That is why 2 houses that look identical from the curb can appraise wildly differently, because on paper one of them simply measures a whole story smaller. If you are digging anyway, grade matters more than granite. Expose 1 full wall to daylight and the whole level converts from cellar to counted living space. Grade 7 is rooftop solar, and one word on the contract decides everything. Panels you own add roughly 5 to 10% to a typical sale price. Panels you lease can subtract value instead, because your buyer must pass a full credit check to assume the remaining lease before the closing can even happen. You have effectively stapled a job interview to your own front door, and every borderline applicant who quietly fails it walks away without ever telling you why. The monthly savings rarely rescue the math, because a lease payment swallows most of the utility discount while the equipment slowly ages on somebody else's balance sheet. If solar tempts you, buy it outright or finance it in your own name. The identical roof either raises your final price or quietly repels your buyers. Upgrade 8 is the renovation nobody pulled a permit for. And the danger is not the fine. It is one word buried deep in your insurance policy. That word is misrepresentation. If a loss traces to work that was never permitted or inspected, your insurer can formally argue the property's condition was falsely presented. And that argument does not stay contained. It can void coverage on the entire claim, not just the bathroom you finished one weekend without ever telling anyone. Picture the kitchen you renovated legally burning down one night, and the basement bathroom you did not disclose deciding the insurer owes you precisely nothing for either. Buyer's inspectors are trained to smell this from the upstairs hallway. Mismatched drywall texture, a vent with no permit trail, wiring that enters the breaker panel wrong. When they find it, they do not negotiate, they lowball or leave. Retroactive permits cost mere hundreds of dollars, while undisclosed work costs you the whole claim. And Upgrade 9 sits in your kitchen right now, quartz, the most popular countertop material in modern America. Engineered stone, bound together with resins and crushed silica. Australia banned it nationwide, not restricted, outlawed, because cutting the slabs releases fine, crystalline dust that was quietly destroying young fabrication workers' lungs. Your installed slab is safe to own. The danger lives in the cutting shop, not your kitchen. But markets do not price danger. They trade on headlines. Regulators in other countries are already studying the Australian evidence, and every new ruling moves quartz one step from luxury keyword toward liability question in a listing. You watched this exact flip already. The barn door went from premium signal to date stamp in barely 8 years, and the countertop is next in line. 9 upgrades, 1 pattern. Nobody ever steals your equity, you donate it willingly. A safe choice here, a skipped permit there, a fashionable slab at a time. There is one thing in millions of homes that is not an upgrade at all, and insurers refuse houses until it is gone. That story is next.